How's everybody doing? My name is Kurt Friedrich, and welcome to episode 40 of TNT Stocks. Today's actual date is December 28th of 2025, and the simulated date is April 1st of 2028. And as you can see, being December 28th, this will be our final episode of the actual 2025 calendar year. We started at the beginning of the year, and now we're finishing off. So been an interesting year, some highs and some lows, but we'll finish it off pretty much with an uneventful episode. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the criteria and disclaimer, and then we'll get into the slides. We do one video per week. We'll simulate 1 month. I'll create videos when available at home, not while traveling on Army Reserve duty or vacations. Any week with a missed video will not be considered a simulated month. Each video will simulate loading $100 per month to the TNT Stocks account. All stocks bought in the simulation are actual companies with their actual end-of-week closing stock prices. Stocks can be sold between episodes at certain prices per personal strategies. This month we bought 3 stocks at a price range of $5 to $100, spending capped at $50. And if you've been watching previous episodes, especially the last one was our highest capped amount, this one being 50, you can kind of see where I was saying at the beginning it was an uneventful market since last episode. So let's see what $100 per month will look like over time. Disclaimer, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. I'm not qualified or certified to give professional investment advice. Day trading has high risks involved. Any gain or loss is at a personal risk. Past performances do not guarantee success in future stock purchases. It is highly recommended that you do your own due diligence when it comes to deciding which stock you will purchase. All right, and as always, I do split up our portfolio line item. Well, as always, I mention that we split up our portfolio line item into 2 different slides because if I try to cram it all on one slide, I feel like it'll be condensed, maybe hard to read, blurry, depending on what you're using. If you're using a laptop, your phone, tablet, or whatever size monitor you have to see. So I do split this up into 2 different slides to try and make it easier for you to read. With this, we'll just move from the top to the bottom. You see AGL is still our top money loser, closing at 73 cents per share. I did look in the last episode, it was at 73 cents per share. And I'll say that it did take a dive since last episode, but it did come back up on Friday and finished out right where it began in 73 cents. So still continuing to be our top money loser. If we were selling out on Friday at closing, we would have had a loss about $34. I've mentioned in previous videos the reason why we're holding on to this ISOR basically is because the platform that I use, they charge 10% if you buy anything under $2 per share. That when I did that, it did rise above $2. So I don't know if they sell or charge commission if you sell under $2. I'm going to assume they do. So that's why we're waiting for this for AGL to come back above $2. As you can see, we got a long ways to go. But a few episodes ago, 5 or 6 of them, that was down to like 52 cents per share. So it has been coming up. Hopefully it comes up $2 per share. So we let it go, cut sling load, take our losses, and get rid of this eyesore that we have on our portfolio and line items. Moving on, BTSG still continues to be the top money maker, sitting at $37.75 per share. And if we were sold it Friday at closing, we would have had an overall gain of $71 for that company. So if you bought that back in July, hopefully you are benefiting from purchasing BTSG. You see that we certainly have been since that time. I'll also note that is actually when we began one of our new strategies. AGL was during an old strategy that I was using. As you see, it didn't work out very well. BTSD is when we began a new strategy, and kind of cool to see that the one of those three companies we purchased back on July 18th is still surviving and still and is top money maker. So just a cool note and cool thing to brag about. Moving on, you'll see that we didn't sell anything over the past since last episode. Overall, I'll say that the market was, for us, it was pretty steady. Did kind of dive down a little bit, but obviously nothing dived down enough to where it was going to cause us to sell. I will say that there were a few that were close, but nothing really, nothing like go. And I will say that I don't really feel like that it ended any higher than what it started. So yeah, just pretty uneventful since last episode. So what we do have to show on this slide is what we did buy. We bought some NACO Industries Incorporated. I can say we have had that in the past. We bought one share at $48.69. We did buy some Intron Location and Control Ltd. I can say we've also had that in the past. We bought one share at $43.38. And we also bought some Frontline PLC. I don't know if we've had Frontline in these videos or not, but so it may be a brand new one. I know I've had it on my personal profile, but I don't know if we've had it on here. So could be a newcomer. We bought two shares at $21.81. Overall, we have 173 shares in our portfolio. And if we were to sell everything on Monday on opening, we would have an overall gain of $79.50, which is going to bring us to our next slide. Here we have our over-under, and this is reflecting at $79.50. Been a continuous drop over the last several months. We see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive months where it has dropped. That does show that there is a decline in the strength of our portfolio, but also some of that's being reflected because of some of the high dollar sell-offs that we've had since the last over the last few episodes, as our portfolio was dropping over the last few episodes and selling off some things. So was this. If we did sell off AGL, those were going to be $30, $40, $50 sell-offs in the negative. It will definitely bring this back up in the right direction. While it does kind of look bad, I'm not worried about it. I do think it's going to start coming back up, especially if our portfolio starts moving in the right direction. So while not fun to see, just kind of looking. We just had what did I say? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably tied for our most consecutive episodes in a downward trend. So let's hope we don't set a record, and let's hope that in the next episode it moves up in the right direction. The next few slides here are going to remain flat since we didn't sell anything. We didn't have any income, so this remains flat at $64.18. So not much to talk about here other than glad to end our calendar year on the right side of the dollar item on the positive side. If you look, we struggled to keep it on the positive side. You see here it was below, popped right up and then came right back down. And then over the last several episodes, the last few months, been on the right side of the dollar amount. So glad to see the calendar year end that way. But yeah, otherwise we just remain flat. If you notice our thumbnail, this was 5 straight weeks of moving in the upward direction. This slide will always move in the upward direction, basically because whenever we sell one of our line items and it has a positive gain to it, we are going to take half of it and take it home and spend it. The other half is going to be reinvested. And again, since we didn't sell anything, this one stayed the same at $245. Right there, right just right below that $250 milestone mark. Definitely would have liked to cross that before the end of the calendar year, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is, and maybe our first episode of the new 2026 calendar year, maybe we bust that, break that milestone mark. So again, not a lot to talk about here other than, yeah, streak comes to an end, and yeah, just didn't make the milestone mark, but maybe the next one. Here's what we have invested. Basically, if you were to take the shares and what we purchased them at, this is what we have overall in our portfolio. This one jumped from about $3,100 to close to or $3,150 to $3,290. Yeah, so just always going to move in the upward direction. We just don't want to see it move greatly in the upward direction because we want to buy low and sell high. And then here's what we have total. This is basically what we have in our portfolio altogether. If you take all of our shares and what they are currently at right now, their current value, this is what we'd have. And basically all it did was just rise about $100. We went from about $3,700 right to $3,800. So this one should always be trending in an upward direction. Would like to see a little bit of a curve going in the upward direction. That would show that our portfolio is growing comparing to what we purchased at. But I think we just don't have enough variance, not enough separation between those two to really start seeing that curve yet. Maybe I thought we would see it by now, but we're not. And it may be because of some of our not so good strategy the first half of the year kind of reflects that. So who knows? Maybe this time next year we'll be seeing that curve when we talk at the end of the next calendar year. Here's our first combined slide. Basically, this is just, you see it at the bottom, our over-under income and take-home all together. You see the income and take-home moving in the right direction, our over-under kind of moving in the wrong direction. I feel like all three of these should be pretty much staying together. I think what this kind of illustrates is our struggles at the beginning of the year. You see the over-under under the $0 amount, our income under the $0 amount. If you're watching episodes or you go back to some of those beginning ones, yeah, we were struggling. Here we were definitely struggling with the income, but overall, in the past several episodes, we moved on to the right side of the dollar amount on the positive side. And of course, that's where we want to be. That's what I want to show. And right now we are. Just scanned that over under. Just not quite doing exactly what we wanted to be doing right now, but could change in the next episode to come. And here we have our second combined slide, our invested in total together. These two typically are going to be running parallel together. And of course, some separation as what we bought and what they sold at will kind of drive these to separate. But overall, yeah, a little bit of parallel running together. And as you can see, it has begun to separate over the past simulated year. So I expect to see much of that, especially as our line items are growing with what they have in our portfolio overall. And then lastly, here's our portfolio all together on one slide. All I really did here was take out the legend. So for those that are using something small, it may be a little hard to see on your monitors or whatever screen you're using. You see why in the beginning I did separate it, but this is really basically the same that we saw at the beginning, just without the legend. And if you can't see it right here, I do like to point out some of the percentages of what we have, and just kind of showing off how strong our portfolio really is. Like we see Tigo at 46%, BTSG at 89%. And I do apologize. I do have one error here. I got BKD highlighted green as their top money maker. Apologize for that. Of course, is BTSG. It's our top money maker. Well, speaking of BKD, you see this line item is 30% on the positive side. Moving on from there, looks like what we've been purchasing middle of October on. Nothing's really popped off. But again, that kind of just shows where things have been over the past calendar month or so. I don't expect it to stay that way. It's got to start coming up in the right direction at some point in time. I feel like we may have ridden one of the bad ways of playing the stock market. So maybe this next one next few episodes will start moving in the right direction and start showing some growth again, which is what I want to show you, and which is what I'm hoping your portfolios are doing. Again, overall, we have 173 shares in our portfolio. If we sold everything on Monday morning, we would have an overall gain of $79.50. So that's all I got for this video. That's all I have for closing out the calendar year 2025. Again, I'll say it was definitely some ups and downs, some trials and errors, but finishing out on a positive note. And I hope that you all got some useful information out of this. I hope that you all were able to use some of what I show you to help you out in your 2025 day trading experience. So with that being said, good stock hunting. Don't forget to comment, rate, share, and subscribe, all of the above. And until the next episode, take it easy.